This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test. This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Well, here we are, another episode of Imagine Live. This is Chapter 3. I, of course, am Cato. We're here in the dojo. This is my co-host for the evening, DC Bentley. I know you got a lot to say about what happened last Saturday, but just hold on. Before we get started, we have a match in the ring ready to go. Let's see it right now.
All right.
So, first, from Biloxi, Mississippi, he is Crusher Black. Oh, one quick note, before we get too far into this, if you want to bring that camera back to me here real quick, I thought maybe you should know, neighbor Johnny, based on his actions last week, he's indefinitely suspended. So let's take it back to the ring. His opponent from the neighborhood arcade, he is player one, Jake Wiley.
Indefinitely suspended? That's Donkey Kong. What do you mean? What do you mean he's suspended? We didn't do anything wrong. How could this day get any worse?
Wait, Crusher Black.
Well, that looks familiar.
What?
Unbelievable!
Well, that was the Alpha getting a little bit of revenge. You know what? Good. I'm glad.
Well, I mentioned wrestling has some nerve. Suspending good neighbor John Ross when...
Good
neighbor John Ross. And when the likes of this nonsense is happening right now. That wasn't no Crusher from Biloxi. You know who that was?
Who was that?
That was the Alpha male Rick Matthews.
I know it was.
I don't know what he was the first at. That's what Alpha means, the first. What, to take a cheap shot?
You don't think he was justified after what happened? I don't know if you caught the memo. So let's review. For anybody that missed it, the good neighbor took things upon himself, went out there at Volume 11 last Saturday night, broke the arm of the professional Braden Elliott. So that's why he's suspended. His friend got his arm broken. I think what he did tonight was justified at the Alpha.
Well, I'm going to say it to you like this. If you're going to be a good neighbor, you got to read the good book. Cato, you ever read the good book?
I've read a few books.
You know what it says? It says an eye for an eye. So how comes there's not a suspension for a suspension? Yeah, Braden Elliott should have never got hurt. You know why? Because he should have never been in the match. He should have been sitting his suspension out riding the pine. But instead, he was put in that match, and not only has he hurt the good neighbor, but he also hurt Jake Wiley. So what's the scoreboard, Cato? That says 2-1.
When it's within the bounds of a wrestling match, sometimes things happen. What neighbor John Ross was not within the bounds of a wrestling match. He wasn't even involved in that match. So, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because as a company, we're moving past neighbor John. That's it. Our brand is not about to represent guys taking things into their own hands, breaking guys' arms after matches. So, I don't know if he's going to show up somewhere else. That's not my problem anymore. But I can tell you this much. Neighbor John is not welcome back here.
Well, we can agree on one thing. Because I'm glad that he's going to have some time out, too. Because as brave and courageous as the good neighbor is, he would have never rested. And now he has appropriate time. And you know what? You can't keep a good neighbor down.
Don't want to hear about it. I'm telling you now, I don't want to hear about it. We're moving forward. That's the end of Neighbor John in Imagine Wrestling. But we're turning over a new situation. We have a new situation going forward. Let's talk about another happening that happened at Chapter 11 or Volume 11 last Saturday night. In the middle of the ring, in the main event, we crowned a brand new heavyweight champion. We have footage of that right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
All right.
Referee better get in position. What's going on? Collier! Look at the strength! Take him out! Look at the power! Deadlift. That is unbelievable! Absolutely unbelievable! Picks him up a little fireman's carry. Oh, wait a My goodness.
2!
Only a 2
What
count.
an exchange!
Wow.
Locked it!
Oh, my. Gonna try to go for an ankle slam, but wait a minute. Collier's got Rob. 1, 2, 3. That's it,
That
folks.
is it! What
My
a surprise!
goodness.
An absolute shocker, a surprise roll up out of nowhere! Unbelievable, big-time Bill Collier, your new Imagine Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Unbelievable. I am almost speechless at this point. What an amazing match. These guys put on a clinic, and you can't take anything away from either one of these athletes. They put everything into this match. And fortunately for Bill Collier, he is now your new Imagine Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
That's right, Abraham, on a night where we saw the debuting Cole Carter go up against Kim Chi, on a night where we saw Big Lenny outshine the coach Lance Payne, on a night where David Lawless took down Lucio DeVere for a potential heavyweight championship match. We saw the title change hands.
Yes, and look at this here. We got both men facing at each other.
Well, there's
And
a show.
Slade handing the title over to Bill Collier, showing some respect.
That has slapped the taste out of Collier's mouth.
Before we go any further, well, but yeah, I caught that last little comment. You would slap the taste out of Bill Collier's mouth?
Well, no, I wouldn't slap the taste out of Bill Collier's mouth. Like, if I was Spencer Slade, Slade me.
Oh.
Slade Bentley would slap the taste out of Collier's mouth. I wouldn't do that. You know, all I'm saying is I don't like losing, and I just hope that Slade is not getting a taste for it.
Okay, all right. I don't think that he is. I mean, he's been on such a hot streak. Sometimes you just run into a guy like a Bill Collier who just on that night is as good as anybody in the world. And sometimes he's just unstoppable. I can tell you, when they fought each other in July, I genuinely thought there's no way they could top a match like this. And then they come back in August, and it's even better. So now, as we know, as announced, much to the dismay of David Lawless, on September the 19th, at volume number 12, we will see a rematch. Slade versus Collier 3. And I've also been told this is going to be the last time that we see this match in 2020. So if you want to see that match, this is going to be your opportunity to see it for the last time in 2020. Spencer Slade versus Bill Collier.
Well, you know, you brought up a heck of a point. The gavel David Lawless being entirely left out of this main event, which I think is a crime, and nobody knows what a crime is better than David Lawless, and I think he feels the same way. Why not add him to the mix? He's on a winning streak.
Well, don't you feel like, though, as the former champion, that rematch clause comes up, and Spencer Slade should get the first shot at the title?
I gotta agree with you.
Thank you.
Even though you know I don't trust the fella. I don't know what he's hiding underneath that headgear. I want to see what those ears look like. I think maybe one of these days I'll do an expose. What's under the gear to fear? But anyways, they're both in tip-top shape, but I said this before and I'll say it again. I do believe as Slade is reaching his prime, Bill might be slowly drifting beyond his, and I'm interested to see as the clock ticks who comes out the better man on the 19th of September.
Well, this is it. This is Slade Collier 3. To be honest, it just doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be the main event of the night, as it should be, as it would be anywhere. And I'm talking on television, in any show in the country. It just simply doesn't get any better than this. I'm really looking forward to this match. I love the first two. They're so evenly matched, and boy, there's something special when those two get in the ring.
Yeah, I said it to Abraham during the match. It was an absolute jousting match. You know, one competitor not allowing the other one to get too far ahead. Could have went either way. Impossible to call right up to the final bell. Absolutely love this match. Looking forward to the 19th. I think the last one was a question of maybe experience trumps raw talent. But Slade is growing ever more experienced, especially when it comes to facing down Bill Collier. He might have his number on number 3.
Now, I do want to briefly touch on David Lawless. You know, you had mentioned Lawless, and I don't think anybody would argue that down the line, based on his year that he's had in 2020, that he's not worthy of a heavyweight title match. I will say, though, that I feel like it just isn't his time yet. He has to prove some more things. You know, getting a disqualification victory over the Patriot, getting a cheap win over Shane Douglas, to me, just doesn't qualify him just yet for a heavyweight title match.
I don't know that any win over Shane Douglas is cheap, Cato. I don't think that's fair. But I got to tell you this. He was a victim. He got assailed at the end of that match. I don't know if you saw that or not. Totally unprovoked, got popped in his chops.
He wouldn't stop running his mouth. I have a feeling the next guy that we're bringing out here, if you don't stop running your mouth, he's going to pop you in the chops.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that happened to me. But, you don't know about the law. You don't know about filibustering, and this is what Lawless was doing. It's his perfectly acceptable conduct in a courtroom. You need to get some culture, fella.
I think that's probably fair. That's probably fair. I won't argue with that. Another guy who doesn't have a ton of culture, but he knows how to live off the land and live in the mountains. Let's bring out our guest tonight. He is the mountain man, Big Lenny. Come on in here, Lenny. Let's share this.
Sasquatch and pig cologne.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Come on in a little closer to this microphone so we get you real well. So, how are you tonight, Big Lenny? I think he smells fine.
I'm doing well. I just showered for your information, Jordan. Us mountain men, we do have showers and whatnot.
Wafted across the table here, burning my eyes.
All right. So, I know you brought us something here tonight. Let's try to ignore Bentley here. He can be a little exhausting, but I know you brought some important information for people tonight.
Okay, well, basically what I'm here for, folks, is I'm going to start teaching lessons on how to become a mountain man, just like me. Okay, first couple steps, you got to have the beard. Takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of practice.
I've tried it.
You got a pretty nice one
I've
going
tried.
there.
It was bigger before. It takes a heck of a man to have a beard. I'll say that.
This is as good as it gets. I bloomed late in life.
Okay, then.
Cool.
Yeah. I tell you another thing that doesn't hurt. Having some siblings to knock you around whenever you're a kid, teach you how to take a whooping.
This is like a nature program, and nature is where I find out that people end up when no one else can stand them, and I'm starting to, realize why you're the mountain man.
You get a little bit into them nature programs, don't you, Jordan?
Like them? You ever see the one with the Zulu hags? It's my personal favorite. That's a Nat Geo.
Nat Geo, okay.
All right. So, as I mentioned, you brought us something here tonight.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look.
Okay, well-
I'm begging you to please ignore this guy.
Okay, very important for a mountain man is nutrition. We're always looking for ways to procure food. And one of the easiest ways we can do it is just simply walking out into our backyard. Okay? So I brought some food out of my backyard.
Okay.
Brought you a nice plate there to keep it nice and clean.
Oh no.
Yep, there it is.
So what do you have here? Let's get close to the microphone and make sure they can hear you. What do you have here?
All right, this is called purslane. It's a wild edible that grows here in central Pennsylvania. A lot of people find it around their gardens or whatnot. It's a nice succulent. You can eat it fresh like this. You can cook it down. It is delicious, full of vitamins.
Wait. Eat it fresh. You don't have to cook it.
No, you don't have to cook it.
Okay.
Hey, Nat.
This is maybe why you bloomed late in life.
Well, hey, you brought it.
All you have to do,
I'll try it.
give it a
look,
shot.
all you
Let's
have to
give
do
it a
is just
shot.
pop off a nice fresh end like that.
All right. I'll let you get your own. There you go. Take it from wherever you want.
Oh, the big one?
Yeah, take a bunch.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it tastes like mountain manure.
I gotta be honest. It's better than I expected. And I'm not being funny or playing. It's better than I expected.
Right. I know you're not a big wild edibles guy.
I'm not. No, it's better.
You don't like surprises in your food.
No, not at all. Not at
No,
all.
Like
this
a
here's
Lenny
one that-
toenail.
Nah, just forget it, man. Just
I'm
forget it.
serious, Gato. It tastes like that beard looks.
All right. So,
Anyway, it's full of vitamins, it's full of nutrition, and it's free food. All we have to do is walk out into our backyard, pick it up, and eat it. That's how you become a mountain man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Perfect sustenance for a toothless mountain lizard like this. I don't.
good. Hey, man, that's a good way to end the show right now. We appreciate you guys all tuning in.
Wait. Give me this. Don't hurt yourself. Neighborhood, you think this is over? I got news for you. This is far from over. It's alpha time, baby. Ah!